Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It is Friday, an exhausting week of trading, some awesome trading, some exhausting trading. So a lot of this week, especially if you're day trading, well, sometimes it was watching paint dry. Sometimes it was like, wow, it keeps making new highs, which was yesterday leading into today. So it is Friday, August 21st, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just want you to know how much I appreciate it. And if you've had any success with some of the calls that we make, absolutely leave me a comment in the below the video. I'd really love to hear about your success and celebrate it with you. We work really hard to put this stuff together, and if you're finding value, absolutely click down and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to trade together with me in real time for the next 30 days, absolutely click down and learn more about the boot camp, see how other traders and members are doing in the boot camp. I think you'll really like it. So we're actually going to head right over to the charts. The SPY is at or near all-time highs again, which is fine, right? We don't have to pick the bias. We know what the bias is. Now it's just a question of finding entries. Yesterday was one of those easier days where the game plan was dead in the water on Wednesday, and then Thursday, all of the stocks virtually in our private game plan meeting just pretty much lit up, and it was a question of where you were managing trades, and that's really exciting. We have one channel in the boot camp that talks about points earned. And it's really gratifying and exciting to see when everybody posts in, I made this, and I made that, and I made this, and I made that. And that's not luck. I'm just telling you straight up, our community works hard. They work really hard, and being patient when there's not much going on. I know that could really be boring sometimes, but trust me, that's where the money's made, and the money is kept in your pocket, because if you didn't overtrade on Tuesday and Wednesday and did what you were supposed to, which was work the orders and have a little bit less share size, and be disciplined in your stop loss, especially with the way the market got crushed on Wednesday afternoon. A day like yesterday unfolds, and we still have this really nice basket of stocks that is clearly good opportunity. You get a day like yesterday, and you're making money, and you're not making back money that you threw away because you were bored. That's a big secret of trading. Preserve your capital when the conditions are tough. Understand how to manage orders when the conditions are tough. Then you get a day like yesterday, and everybody is just really celebrating at the end of the day, and it's kind of fun. And celebrating, the money's great, but celebrating because you're becoming the reason you're making money, not because the market's giving you a gift. Because yesterday wouldn't have mattered if you threw money away on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the value of being in a community like we have, because it's okay to hold back, because now you're feeling like, am I missing something? No, you're not missing something. You're reading it properly and acting like a pro, which is what we talk about in the room all day. And then yesterday unfolds, and it probably made your week yesterday, quite honestly. So we're going to head over to the charts. We're going to look at some more opportunity today. And again, if you've had some success with the videos and being a member of the channel, definitely click down and let me know. I'd love to hear about your success, because it just makes the hard work, makes me want to work even harder for you, really. So we're gonna take a look at. We're going to start with the market, a little bit mixed. Futures are basically flat right now, but really I think the 5-minute chart yesterday really emphasizes what we were looking at yesterday. And you could see this is what happens when you have a bias going into the day and saying, I'm only looking for longs. I'm going to manage positions in the direction of my long, despite the fact that we got crushed on Wednesday, opened lower yesterday morning. There is only one play, and you can see how it unfolded. So again, we're going to open neutral today, but you can see how close we are again to what now over here is the new all-time high at 339.61. Will we make a run? I don't know. All I know is we have our game plan heading into the day, and we have some good stocks to pay attention to. Again, pre-market earnings, Ross Stores, after hours, we have PDD, John Deere, and Foot Locker. So I want to touch on two stocks that have been in the game plan for the last couple of days. Target exploded after earnings, held that bid. We talked about it yesterday. A little bit of profit taking yesterday. 100% I'm looking for a spot to bid this stock again today. Probably best case scenario, the stock opens flat, pushes lower, tests just laid low, and then we could initiate a new swing trade. Home Depot was a trade that I was looking at yesterday, was actually at the top of my list, did nothing the whole day. Very similar to CBNA earlier in the week, but that's fine. You have other stocks on the list. You trade them aggressively when they follow through. You work the order when they don't. Home Depot, I'm looking for a long again today. And again, if I put the trade on and it doesn't follow through, or kind of does what it did yesterday, I'm fine with that. My edge will make me money. My edge does the hard work over time. Another stock that we've been watching that's kind of setting up, just gave us an amazing day-to-day trade yesterday, but now it's sitting at a daily breakout over the last 5 or 6 days, looking for it to make a run at 88. So we still have about $5 left in this trade. If it opens above yesterday, it continues. Penn, we keep talking about this. Again, one of the biggest, I don't know, complaints is the right word, is I don't have a big account. I can't trade Amazon and Tesla and Apple. You don't need to. This stock can move 5 or 10% in a day. Look at the day that what this stock did yesterday, and this is a $50 stock. A month ago, it was a $30 stock. So if you want to be successful, you have to stop complaining, and you have to act like a pro and get in there and find the stocks that match your resources instead of complaining about the resources that you have. Get in there. There's plenty of opportunity, and this is a good example of it. It should be in your watch list if that's the case for you. YNDX actually has now produced 4 days in a row where it's traded higher. But we're staring at melted candlesticks where they're opening and closing in the same spot. I absolutely like the long, but because of the tiny nature of those daily candles where it can't make up its mind intraday, I'm working the order. But again, I also am not looking to initiate a swing trade here because of how far the stock has now gone over the last 5 to 6 days. You can see like this is a normal move for the stock. So if for a swing trade, you have to be asking yourself, where could it possibly go over the next 3 to 5 days, and probably maybe one more day and then pull back and pause. I'm going to wait for 1 or 2 more days before I initiate it, but I'm calling it out so you have it in your watch list. Nvidia, one of the few stocks that did not have fantastic earnings, that actually opened lower and had a super strong first part of the day yesterday. You can see here, it kind of died the rest of the day, but it's in the list because you have to be looking long at a stock that's at all-time highs. But if the stock trades negative today, meaning it's below yesterday's close and today's opening price, and especially the opening range after it opens, I'm going to lay back a little bit on this one because the earnings were a little bit of a disappointment, which they were down $7 prior to the market opening. So I want this one, even despite the fact that it's at all-time highs or near all-time highs, I still want to work the order here a little bit because trading against earnings this season has been really not the right trade to make. So we want this to give us a little more proof. Apple was another one of those stocks yesterday. It just kept lighting up the board. Members of the community, we just kept talking about how long do we hold it, which again is a great conversation to have. And again, you can see a really nice trend day, all-time highs again. Look, we're still looking to be long. It's just a question of fine-tuning our entries, which that's a big part of being in the boot camp. That's what we do, is learn how to enter these trades as well. Finding the trades and knowing how to enter them is not the same thing. Adobe also matches that criteria, punch through, really solid trend day, and looking for new levels to trade through. The lower opening doesn't matter to me there. DHI as well. We actually now had a 2-day pause, closed strong yesterday outside this range. A little bit of a lower opening today. I still like this long as a swing trade. EAT is one that has been in the group chat for about a week now. And what's super, super interesting about this trade, and I really hope you take this and put it into your trading toolbox. We've been talking about this trade here, and specifically these 2 days, a couple of members of the community called it out. I want to be long. I want to be long. I love the stock long. And I'm like, what? It's going to go nowhere. The odds, now again, the odds are the aberrations once in a while, yes, but the odds are after moving this far, this fast, the odds are it was going to pause or pull back, and then you look for a better spot to buy, or you better look for a better opportunity where the odds of pulling back are lower. And now you can see that we had 5 days of consolidating. Now is the time to start building a new swing trade in this idea, which actually has some room to go to the next level, which I believe we said is around 45. So you have roughly a $7 trade there. So I hope you can understand what I'm talking about there, about watching how far a stock has gone and then saying to yourself, if you're a swing trader, what are the odds of this stock following through over the next 3 to 5 days, 7 days? If the answer comes back, well, the odds are it's probably going to be lower over the next 3 days from now. Wait for 3 days from now. Don't have fear of missing out. This didn't go down, which actually shows strength in the stock. So this is setting up, and again, it's the $38 stock. You can't complain. You can't find ideas. Don't go looking, in my opinion, at penny stocks. Look for stocks that actually have real smart money institutional order flow on a regular basis with potential room to go. This is setting up really nicely today. JD, again, 4 days in a row now. I called out yesterday. I'd be looking for profit taking. It actually opened much lower and rallied again. Look, the stock, and this is a good example, too, of a stock where I said I would day trade it. I wouldn't swing trade it. This meets the criteria at this stage where the stock is. Really good volume, following through, looking for day trading it again. I'm not looking to swing trade for the same reasons that we just talked about in EAT. Tesla, my gosh, there was a lot of banter back and forth in the community yesterday about Tesla. Just really good trading, getting close to 2,000, close to 2,000. It's over 2,000 and closed over 2,000. So we're up a little bit again today. Again, definitely a stock to be in. Hard not to be in a stock long that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish gaps in a row. 2 days of pausing. And yes, and again, if you watch today's Stocks and Breakfast video, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What are you looking for? What is the price action doing? And what can you expect out of it? 2 days of consolidating after 5 bullish gaps. You get that kind of trend day. One trade makes your month if you understand how to set these up. But what happens between entry and exit, that's really the big part. That's the whole point of being in the boot camp. Zoom, all-time highs. Look, again, very clearly, disclaimer, I'm not trading it, but all-time highs is the idea that you have to look at. FTCH is a stock that was called out in the community. Now we had a bullish gap that did not pull back and now has paused for 5 days. I like this one long today as well. And Run is one that is still looking good. If you look at the volume, it's not really telling you that there's distribution. The volume hasn't really spiked higher. But there's really nothing to do until the stock gets above 48.50, have an alert set for 48.50, and then look to initiate a new swing trade to the long side. So close to the screen there. So that's what we have set up for today. We got some economic numbers today, a little bit of earnings after the close. But look, bottom line is you have to be looking to be confidently buying at all-time highs. A lot of these stocks that are clearly in longs, you have to be confidently buying. But that doesn't mean you buy and close your eyes. That means that you need to get into positions knowing if the trade doesn't work out, if the trade reverses, what do you plan on doing? Is it a swing trade? Is it a day trade? Do you plan on scaling out? Do you plan on getting out? Make that decision prior to the trade so that if it happens, you got to know what to do before. And that's important because now it becomes a business decision, not a emotional decision. Now it's not an assault to your ego or you say, well, I don't understand. It worked yesterday. Yeah, today's not yesterday anymore. Same idea, manage the position. That's where you make the leap from somebody who's chart reading and struggling to somebody who's actually printing money on a regular monthly basis because you're actively making decisions instead of sitting back and saying, I just hope the market comes back. Don't do that. Get in there and actively manage those trades. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great finish to the week.